Much like what's happened in our food system, our information diet has become toxic. The news and social media we consume is filled with half-truths, anger-generating sound bites, and mind-numbing nonsense that either spaces us out or riles us up, and it's all designed to lure us back for more. It's time to take back control. And this podcast is a 5-minute step in the right direction. 3 days a week, I'll share a short story to help renew your belief in the people and the world around you. Monday, a story from the past. Wednesday, the present. And Friday, you'll head into the weekend with a story to keep you optimistic about our future. Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to My Good 3. Alright, happy Friday. There's nothing worse than having a feeling about something, and then, because there weren't enough people around you feeling the same way, you decided not to trust your gut, only to find out later that you should have. It's a double fail. First, you did the wrong thing, and second, you have to sit there and live with yourself, knowing your intuition was correctly guiding you, and you didn't trust yourself enough to act. This is a story about a school that decided not to wait for other schools around them to act, and instead trusted they were right about what social media and smartphones were doing to their students. It's a lesson we can all gain something from. It uncovered more data about how the mere presence of a smartphone affects a student's ability to learn, but also because it's an example of the importance of better trusting our collective intuition. Collective intuition is defined as a shared judgment that is based on a group's collective knowledge, experience, and cognitive abilities. The judgment is actually first formed independently, and then it's shared and interpreted as a group. As it relates to smartphones and how they impact our ability to focus, our collective intuition flagged this as a problem many years ago. I mean, how many of you, as far back as 6 or 8 years ago, were wondering if these smartphones had an impact on our concentration? We've all shared our concerns for our children and how these smartphones capture their attention more than anything else, and whether this might impact them in some way. For the last few years, there's been some data saying that our collective intuition was right. However, as it goes, there's often a delay between collective intuition and corrective action, especially when it comes to our institutions. Luckily for children at Cumberland Community School in Newham, East London, a secondary school with a history of underperformance, their staff decided not to wait for years-long research studies or for other schools to act. They trusted their intuition, and the results are inspiring. In 2023, the Cumberland staff made headlines when they asked their students to remove social media apps from their smartphones as they headed into exam season. It wasn't required, but many students removed TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram from their phones. And some even went so far as to surrender their phones entirely for a period of 2 months. According to the school's head teacher, Eklis Rahman, the 2023 cohort that removed their social media apps and handed over their smartphones did significantly better than the group that didn't. And they found identical results in 2024 when they did the experiment again. After 2 years of implementing the program, the school's progress score has jumped by a grade and a quarter. School administrators across the UK quickly took notice. In 2024, the outgoing Tory government implemented new guidance to schools about smartphones. And the UK's Education Secretary followed up with recommendations for all schools to ban the use of smartphones while on school grounds. Concurrently, a UK think tank called Policy Exchange conducted a study, and of the schools that followed the guidance, they found that the ban led to a rise in GSCE scores, which is the equivalent of the GED in the US, of 1 to 2 grades above schools with more relaxed policies. So, what's going on exactly? These results are significant. If we look back at research from the 1980s around cognitive load theory, or CLT, it shows that our brains have a working memory. Think of it like a computer having a browser with tabs. Our brain will operate less optimally if there are too many tasks happening or too many tabs open, just like a computer. When smartphones were introduced and suspicions started to rise that they may impact our cognitive function, the leading theory was that they impacted cognitive load. That when students have smartphones available to them, their computer believes these are tasks occurring, and the effect is if there are too many tabs open. In several scientific studies since 2021 have repeatedly supported this theory. Research has shown that for students who use smartphones regularly, the mere presence of an operational smartphone, a phone within reach, decreases both attention and performance on high-level tasks. Meaning, just having a smartphone in a bag next to a student who's taking a test will affect their ability to perform on the test. Our collective intuition over the years was right. We've witnessed how our brains have changed and how our children struggle to perform with social media and smartphones lurking. The research supports our suspicions, and now we're in a position to act. Schools in the United Kingdom are already a step ahead, and in the United States, the future is bright for students as well. It's now time to close some of the distracting tabs on the browser, because the processing power of our next generation depends on it. Thank you for listening. I realize this podcast won't be successful without your help. So if you'd like to rate it, or better yet, review it, wherever you get your podcasts, that would really help. And if you're on Instagram, go to @mygood3, THREE, to vote each episode up or down. I'm also excited to read more Good 3 stories from listeners. So just go to our website, mygood3.com, and submit a story of your own from the past, present, or future, or all three. And maybe I'll use it in an episode. Thanks again. Here's to hoping My Good 3 can set the stage for your good week.